Hey, Pup.
Hey, buddy. All right, it says that I'm live. It says it has a poor signal. I don't understand why, because I pay all this money for this boost high-speed internet, and it don't work. I'm mad. Stuff better work, or I'm coming to Comcast. Cancel my service on y'all. But anyway, I'm gonna wait till somebody get in. Okay, we got 2 people watching. Let's get it rolling. So, the reason I'm making this video, or going live about this subject, this is breaking news. Not really, but it's sort of breaking news. So the Philando Castile's dash cam video was just released. I don't know how long ago. I just saw it maybe like an hour ago. So what I have to say, and I think we need to have an honest discussion about this, is that I'll say one thing. Let me start with this. Yeah, Comcast want my money, but I'm about to bounce on them if they don't get the internet rolling. 2017, I need to be able to live stream. All right, so the video came out. First thing I want to say, this has nothing to do with race. Please, race baiting fools, leave it alone, man. Let it go. This has nothing to do with race. This has everything to do with the officers' mannerisms and tactical abilities and the citizens or the motor vehicle operators' character, actions, and lack thereof. This is all it has to do with. Color is not a factor. I mean, and the cop was Hispanic, I think. So you can't blame the white man this time. It don't work. It wasn't about race. But let me say this, because I want to be upfront, close, honest, transparent, whatever. I'm obviously a police officer. I do this for a living. I've been tactical training, you name it. So my evaluation of the officer, we're gonna start with him, is I think he overreacted. Now, I wasn't there. I can't say unequivocally that he overreacted. You know, I can't say that because I wasn't there. I don't know what exactly he saw. I don't know what the energy was presented to him. But from the dash cam, it looked like this officer's, his emotions got the best of him. And he was scary. I think he was just a scary officer. I think that he wasn't used to drama and conflict, and it got the best of him. And maybe what's floating around in the media about, hell, I don't know, maybe a couple police officers got killed in his city. But he overreacted, man. I think he could have done some things better to avoid that incident. You know, tactically, putting your head in the window is a no-no. You know, you already get the man's identification. You didn't ask him if he had a gun. Okay, whatever. He told you he had a gun. Now, if a person tells you that they have a gun, it is reasonable to believe that you have an advantage. You have a tactical advantage over that person. The person told you they have a gun. They didn't reach for it. They didn't have possession of it. They said, I got a gun. So now you got to jump on making decisions. Now you can say, look, put your hands on the steering wheel or get out of the car. Don't reach for the gun. Now, he told him not to reach for the gun. Based on the reports, he reached in that direction anyway. And then he ended up getting shot. Now, this is what I would say. Let's go to Philando's aspect of it. First of all, there's no reason in the world, concealed carry permit owner or not, for you to have a gun in your pocket. That's almost suicide. And I'm not saying that's suicide for multiple reasons. Interactions with the police, they can go south. Getting it misconstrued with a person on the street, they can go south. Or if you get into an accident and some clip the trigger in your pocket, the gun is not in the holster, it's in your pocket, then that's a problem. So first of all, that's the problem that I think Philando faced. Follow directions, man. I don't know how many times this has to be reiterated for people to get the message. You need to follow directions. You know, you moving too fast. He tell you you tell him you got a gun and you know the gun is in your pocket. Dude, why are you moving and going for stuff anyway? You need to check with the officer, make sure it's okay with him before you get shot. You know, that's all I'm saying. I don't need to beat a dead horse. That's all I'm saying. I think the officer could have done better with his tactics. I think obviously it didn't raise to him getting criminally charged. You can't charge a man for manslaughter. He had a reasonable fear that his life was in danger. Castile has a gun in his pocket. And the officer said that he had grabbed the gun at some point. You know, so you're not gonna get charged with manslaughter. He's not gonna get charged with anything. The other question is should he be a police officer anymore? I don't think he should be a police officer anymore for two reasons. One reason is I think he don't have the mannerisms to handle high intense situations like that. And then secondly, he's probably traumatized for the rest of his life. Just based on his reactions to that one shooting, he's traumatized for the rest of his life. He can't be a functioning police officer anymore. He just can't be. Because he's gonna second guess everything he ever thought he could do. He's gonna second guess it. Because he just shot somebody and his reputation is ruined. And the police department knows that, the citizens knows that he is no longer gonna be a police officer. I guarantee you that for a fact. And I think he just didn't have what it take in that situation to be poised. And the sad thing is, and it's just reality, it's life. Not every person who is a citizen have the right temperament and mannerism to function well with police officers, and vice versa. Not every police officer is going to be gung-ho, tactically inclined, can take bullets and render first aid at the same time. It's just not going to happen. If that was a criteria, we'll have like a fourth of the officers that we have right now. And officers are good for multiple things. You know, some officers are more of the tactical people. They may not be they can't talk to people that well, but they good with the tactics. Some officers, they ain't good with the tactics, but they could talk down a person from hanging themselves. You know, so anyway, I made all this stuff on Facebook already, so I'm just kind of coming on here to give y'all a little snippet of what I was talking about. So anyway, I'm gonna open up for questions real quick. If you guys have any questions about anything I said, or have any questions about the shooting, or you want some commentary on my perspective, I'm gonna give you about a minute and see if any of them come through. If not, I'm gonna end the video. But regardless, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate all the subscribers. Man, I'm almost at 4,000, I think. Maybe I'm almost at 5,000. I can't remember. I'm almost topping at the next 1,000. And I appreciate you guys watching. I mean, there's a part of me that want to kind of make the quality of these videos better. When I get my office set up, I will. But until then, I mean, we just gonna have to make do with the impromptu. All right. So, all right, it's approaching the end of the minute. Nobody's said they have any questions or want me to comment on anything. So I'm gonna jump off here. Again, I really appreciate y'all coming on. Some of y'all have come on both times I've been live, and I really appreciate that. Make sure you like and share the page. I mean, some of these videos you can't share, but at least the page you can. Greetings from London. Man, somebody all the way from London. Dang. I wish I was, well, I ain't gonna say that. I was gonna say I wish I was in London because I love cycling and I love road cycling, and I want to see some of those races and stuff that go down in London. But I don't know what the terrorist situation is like. All right, so I think somebody had a question. When I think of the situation, what if Philando had pulled out a gun and the officer didn't shoot? Bam, take it a few seconds to reach for it. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you, Travis. Trevs. The cuz. I agree with you, man. You know, that's why you can't armchair quarterback. You know, I don't know what he saw, man. You see a person grabbing a gun, you better shoot them. I mean, I don't know what else to say to you. You better shoot them. Somebody grabs a gun on a traffic stop, you have to shoot them. I don't know what else to tell you, because you don't have enough time to say, oh, is it loaded? Is that a real gun or it's not? Is he trying to kill me or he just want to wound me? Is he going to pull the gun all the way out? Is it loaded? You don't have time to do that. A reasonable person would not grab a gun on a traffic stop. So it's reasonable if a person grabs a gun on a traffic stop that you use deadly force in return, because that is a legit threat of deadly force. As a person reaches for, grabs a gun. I mean, it takes them 2 seconds to pull it on you and shoot you. So, no, yeah, I mean, that's probably why he didn't get indicted or convicted. He did get indicted. When on the traffic stop, the windows are down, my dome light on, my hands on the steering wheel. I think that's perfect. As a police officer, I would love to see that happen. Time instructions. Yeah, and I mean, you got a gun. You need to tell the officer you have a gun, man. I had a guy. We were investigating him. He had a gun in his hip. And in my state, you don't need a concealed carry license. Anybody can carry concealed if you're old enough to carry a firearm, and if you don't have a felony, or if you haven't gotten your rights restored. So, we talked to this fool, and all of a sudden he reaches for his wallet in his back pocket, and the butt of the gun comes out. Man, I was mad at him. So anyway. Rookie Baby. I guess that's how you say it. Rookie Baby 1. Appreciate you watching the videos. Katie coming from Georgia. All the way from Georgia. Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Anton, his mom is just, she want money. That's what I know she's probably genuinely saddened about her son's death. And any mom in their right mind will stand up for their child. Any mom will stand up for their child. And I think she has a right to be frustrated with what happened. But the stuff that she say ain't helping nobody. But at the end of the day, it's about money, man. It's about popularity. It's about keeping it going. It's about all of this other stuff. Because, I mean, she's not going to be honest. She know Philando smoking weed every day. And then she probably done told him 100 times, you don't need to be having that gun in your pocket. Them laws gonna pull you over and you're gonna get shot, and she told him 1,000 times and he ain't listen. So she know the truth. Anyway, from Flint, Michigan. I see you. I ain't never been to Michigan, man. I don't need to go out there. I heard it's beautiful. When a person grabs a weapon, you always shoot no matter if it ends up being a fake or unloaded gun on a fall and touch and grab. Yeah, man, we're not Batman or something. We have superpowers. We can say, it's a fake gun. It cannot kill me, or it doesn't have ammo in it, or these hollow points won't penetrate my body armor. Like, I mean, we don't know what's going on. You have a responsibility not to pull a gun out. You will get smoked. I remember I had arrested a juvie for this, and he had a BB gun in his backpack. And he was going around, he had weed on him, he had a BB gun. He going around, see, I wasn't born yesterday. He was going around flashing his gun on people trying to be cool. And I said, look, let me tell you something, young man. I ain't been a cop my whole life. I know what it is. Bro, you gonna get killed out here. You gonna pull a gun on somebody that got a real gun and you gonna die. And that's why I told the little joker, or you mess around and it fall out and you reach for it when the cop is around, you're gonna get smoked. I mean, that's a very high possibility. Not in every case, but it's a good possibility you're gonna get smoked. Yeah, man. I mean, we shoot first if it presents as a deadly threat. We're gonna shoot first. I mean, then we'll see if it's a real gun or not. I don't know if it's presented. If it's an orange gun, of course, the chances of us shooting you with an orange gun is different. If it has an orange tip, you still can get shot because I saw a criminal paint the tip of a gun orange. It was a real gun. He just painted the tip so we could hesitate, but they don't work that way. It's a guy on YouTube that got the video of the suspect. That dude looked just like Philando Castile. That dude, you can probably Google it. Philando Castile and robbery suspect. That dude looked just like Philando Castile. Same hair, same complexion, even wearing glasses and wearing a hat the same way. That dude looked, if that's not an identical match, I don't know what is. And that's why he didn't lose that part in court, because I guarantee you when the jury looked at the suspect and looked at Philando, they like, this ain't him? So, somebody have a question. Is it hard to be a black cop? Does others are you as betraying the community? I guess do others see me as betraying the community? And what made you want to be a cop? All right, perfect. Katie, for everybody that's wondering, I think Katie was asking me, is it hard being a black cop? Do other people in the black community call me a traitor, pretty much? And what made me want to be a cop? So first of all, I needed a job. I had, my son was a young kid. I mean, he wasn't even one yet, and I had made up in my mind I was done chasing my football dreams, and I needed a job. And any responsible man, I applied for everything in the city I was in, even the police department. And I never even thought about being a cop. And then one day they called me, and I was like, I don't know. Yeah, I need to. My kid got to eat. So what I need to do? And I did a ride along with a guy, and it was a white officer, and changed my life. He's the reason I became a police officer. He showed me what a hero is. I thought football players were heroes. I thought football players were, they had all this. I was idolizing football players, and then I saw what a real hero is. That do this stuff every day, life and death every day, saving lives. I couldn't even believe what I saw. I couldn't believe it. I'm still shocked, and I'm a cop today. I'm still shocked at that exposure that I had, and then I became a police officer. In the black community, I tell you what, I don't really know what's the percentage, but I know there's a lot of black people that love me and appreciate me, and there's a lot of them that hate me. And the ones that appreciated me, I believe, are logical. They logically are like, you know what, hey man, you doing the right thing. You doing your job. You adding to whatever you want to accomplish. If I had a reason to believe that African Americans weren't being treated right in law enforcement, I could make that. I could move my way up and make that change from the inside if I felt like that was legitimate. But the other ones, they just want to toe the line, man. They think all of a sudden like all white people are bad or something, and like I'm just a part of the white people or something. It's saddening, but it is what it is. Now, Philando Castile, Lou Me, I think it is. Philando Castile, I think, wasn't on the video. I think what happened was he matched the description of a suspect that was on the video. I didn't see the video at Myrtle Beach. Oh yeah, the thing is that I'm not even sure if they ruled out that there was Philando Castile or not. I saw a report that said they did, but I don't know, man. That dude looked just like Philando Castile. And you know what? Politically correct, they're not going to investigate it because the man dead now. Yeah, Anton, I agree with you, bro. That tell you right there. This is why the community is messed up. Because Philando Castile get more support from the black community than kids that got shot in the black community. Like Michael Brown will get more support and donations than the other 30 young men that got blasted in Chicago over the weekend. Like, it's crazy to me. Anyway. Nah, Lou Me, I hear you. I'm following you on that. I saw that. Somebody tried to put that together and I saw that. I'm not sure that. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm blocking the thing. Ryan, what can we do to all live in peace? We'll never live in peace. There'll never be peace. Like Tupac, there'll never be peace. There will never be peace. I wish I was lying right now, but I'm telling the truth. There will never be peace. People are going to, because some of these people have actually mental illnesses. Like some of these people that are, some of these liberal justice warriors, these people actually have a mental illness. So they are going to be, they're going to be the lead of conflict no matter what happens. And some of these other people, man, they just stuck. I mean, they're brainwashed. I mean, brainwashing is a legitimate thing. Like people get brainwashed and they can't see beyond that. And a lot of people in these minority communities are brainwashed. And then they brainwash each other. And then they brainwash other people who brainwashing people. And the Democrats are giving them this political expedience, I guess, or they're giving them validity by just perpetuating the foolishness. So there will never be peace, man. There will never be peace. Only peace that you can have is the peace that you ensure in your own life, which means that you treat everybody with respect, you do the right thing, and you treat everybody like you want to be treated. That's the only peace you're going to have, and you hope that it's reciprocated. But in real life, there'll never be peace. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going to call you Rookie for the sake of it. Appreciate it, Rookie. Um, Evelyn Rose. I mean, you said topics. I don't know. I can't speak for every foundation and stuff that people send money to for police officers. I tell you what, if you're a type of person that want to donate, do it. Donate, like personally donate or personally investigate whatever charity, because I guarantee you they doing something that they ain't supposed to be doing with that money. Some of the ones that work with my department, they really actually do stuff. You know, I've seen them. They provide vests and stuff like that, but I don't trust everybody. I don't trust them. They'll take that money and be paying themselves salaries and everything to do nothing. Race baiting is ridiculous. There will never be peace. Peace through Yahweh. But you know what? Yahweh's peace is internal. He give you peace. The peace will never be. This world is already going down. If you read the Bible, you know that it's not going to get better. It's coming to an end. Like, it's going to come to an end. Like, America, even in its worst, is one of the most peaceful places to be. You talking about turmoil. I just watched a video on freaking Facebook of like Africans beheading other Africans and throwing them in a ditch, mass murder. Little kids, they just cutting their heads off. That's worse than what we got it. And we think we don't have peace. The world is even worse. So just so you know, if you say Yahweh, I'm assuming that you believe in God, you believe in the Bible, which obviously God is Yahweh. So then you know what I'm talking about. There will never be peace. Peace comes in the spirit. Your spirit, God will give you peace. He promised to give you peace. You know, he calmed the storm. You know, he gave Jesus the power to calm the storm. You know, but that don't mean that there will be no more storms. If that makes sense. It was storming everywhere else, but he was able to calm it with them in the boat. Let's see. Tell cops he had a gun. Let's see, y'all comment fast. Brandon, do you think that the entire human race will be enslaved by Lucifer? I don't necessarily. I think that everyone is born into sin. I think that everyone that's born has a level of evilness that's inherent in them. And I think that what happens over time is when you get knowledge of God's message, then you become a part of God's family. And then Lucifer has no more power over you. That's what I believe. But when you're born into sin. You know, you're slightly separated from God. You have to become under the consciousness of God. And I think God is also fair, because if you're a baby, it's not like you get punished for that. And I think if you die as a baby, then God will reconcile whatever fairness he needs to. But that's the reason why we're so messed up. That's the reason why humanity is. See, we don't see what the world is doing. Like, people are actually killing people and raping people right now as we speak for no reason and getting away with it. You can't really do that in America. You kill somebody, you're going to go to jail. Okay, there's going to be an investigation. You go to some of these places in Africa, they commit genocide and they just murdering people and nobody cares. There's no laws. You know, people are evil, man. People are inherently evil. I don't even see how people could do that to another human unless they're evil. Let's see. Man, I hope I ain't missing none of y'all. I'm trying to look for the question marks. I think it's Zenister. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Thank y'all. Appreciate the comments. Will asked me, do I believe in possession? Could I believe somebody can be possessed? Yes. In the Bible, it talks about demons possessing people. And I think that some people are possessed. I guarantee you, if you go down to some of these villages, if they won't behead you, you go down to some of these villages and you start preaching the gospel to them, I think that some of these people will start coming out of that stuff. You start praying in your heavenly language or whatever you want to call it, and you start really praising and worshiping and speaking over these people. I think some of these devils will come out of them. But you know, the funny thing is, some of these people could be possessed and it's not that extraordinary. Like, I mean, they're not going to be foaming at the mouth. Some of these people could be possessed and it's just, some of these pastors are possessed. Some of these preachers are possessed. They're possessed. They are evil. They're what they call them, wolves in sheep's clothing. These people are evil. They just want your money. They tell you lies. I just watched a lady on YouTube talking about prophesying about Donald Trump. And she told it, this is the thing, in the Bible as a prophet, if you told a false prophecy, you were no longer a prophet. You could no longer carry the mantle of a prophet. You were shunned and condemned and could never prophesy again. This lady told like 4 false prophets on the little YouTube channel and then said, oh, there's a change in the prophecy. Prophecy don't change. God tells prophecy is the revelation of the future. The future cannot change. It has already occurred in the future. See, God is not bound by time or space. He has already established it. He's just letting you know what's about to happen. It don't change. Jesus was prophesied about. It happened just like the prophecy. Stuff don't change. This lady's a devil, and she's on there marketing her book and all this stuff. She's a devil. Anyway, Mac, I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Mac. Some people will be possessed and be lying. Yeah, man, these people, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guarantee you that some people are possessed. I'm not ex-military. I always wanted to be in the military, but I'm not. Appreciate it. Oh man, YouTube is the false teacher. Some good stuff on there, but there's a lot of people teaching false doctrine and everything on YouTube. There's a lot of people teaching false doctrine at churches right now as I speak. But anyway, after seeing the dash cam video, how do you feel about the shooting? I explained that earlier in the video, but I'll say it right now since Nixta is since you just joined. I honestly feel like that the officer overreacted. I don't feel like he should be charged with second-degree manslaughter. I feel like he overreacted. I feel like his temperament and his mannerisms is not something that a police officer should have. You got to be more poised. You got to be stronger than that. Now, what I can say is that I don't blame him 100% because not every officer can be tactically sound and poised and have the best answers for every situation. Another thing I'll say, I wasn't there, so I don't really know what he saw that made him react. But just based on he lost his composure. He lost his composure. You can hear him on the radio. Shots fired. Start meds right now. You don't yell in the radio like that. You know, when I've heard police shootings on the radio in my agency, and the people who are tactically sound and who are poised, they get on the radio and say shots fired. And you like, did I just hear shots fired? You know, no, that's kind of how it should be. And the dispatcher should pick it up like that. Shots fired, 1089. I need 1084, 1018. Like, that's how you should be talking. When you shoot somebody, unless you're in an active gunfight, I mean, then, yeah, you might be a little amped up and out of breath. But when you shoot somebody, I mean, you can't be getting on the radio like that, man. Because if you were by yourself or you needed assistance, man, you people ain't going to know where you at. Anyway, that's how I feel about the thing. Oh, Philando Castile, I think he shouldn't have had a gun in his pocket. And I think he should have followed directions better and he'll still be alive today. Mental possession is not given upon the world and 7 sin. Okay. Jesus is black also. Was Jesus black? I mean, I don't know. Describe black to me. I think Jesus was dark skinned. I don't know if he was considered black, but he was dark skinned, obviously. And history would tell you that most of the people in the Bible were dark skinned. But does that matter? No. I mean, it kind of matters if people trying to brainwash you and tell you that he's white. I mean, I don't know, because he obviously wasn't white. I mean, it really doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, if people want to be accurate about history, I mean, Jesus was a darker complected person. I wouldn't say black because I don't know if you would consider black as an African person or consider black as an African American person. Or, I mean, I don't know. There's people in Britain that are black and they'll come out here and not even identify with African Americans. So, have I dealt with a person that's possessed? I mean, I seen a person that was getting prayed for in church that looked like they were possessed. But I personally, like one-on-one, I don't really know. God hadn't gave me that discernment of certain people. It was a guy that I thought was possessed. He walks around. He's still alive. I don't know how he is. He's a white guy, but he's brown because he's so dirty. He walks with all these bags. He never hurts anybody, harms anybody. I went to give him some clothes. I had been praying, and I went to give him some fresh clothes that I got, and he freaking just started growling at me. So I don't know if he was possessed or he got a mental illness. Yeah, false prophets or false teachers, especially nowadays, false teachers. They're going to be the first one to go. I guarantee you. Yeah, I know. I agree with you, Ryan. I agree. I don't know. I don't know why. And support Evelyn Rose. I mean, support me. I mean, just keep watching the videos. That's all I say. Keep watching the videos and spread them. If you like what you see, spread the video. That's the most support that I can use, is just keep liking the videos and sharing them and spread them if you think it's legitimate. Tell your friends about my live feed. You know, what I'll do is I'll try to start being more consistent so I can kind of catch everybody when they'll be ready for it. Okay, Kate, I think that's how you say your name. If they're scared of black men, don't become a police officer. I honestly think that most officers aren't scared of black people. Most officers are scared of dying. That's what I think that's what the truth is. Black people aren't some unique species on planet Earth. I mean, who do people think are patrolling these black communities? Black people? No, these same white people that deal with them every day. So to think that white people are somehow afraid of black people, this is not true, because they have to deal with black people every day in these communities. Black people don't just commit crimes. I mean, they call for burglaries, they call for child abuse, domestic violence. I mean, these cops are dealing with black people every day in these communities. Black people call 911. I mean, I don't know if people just haven't caught on to that, but black people call 911. Everybody calls 911. You know, somebody got into a traffic accident, they're gonna call 911. And then the police are gonna show up. Somebody doing a drive-by, they're gonna call 911. There's victims in this too that police officers have to interact with. You know, when a young black man kill another young black man, you know, the police are gonna show up to that. And then they're gonna have to investigate the scene, and they're gonna have to notify next of kin. So to make the assertion or to think that these white officers are afraid of black people is just false. They're not afraid of black people. That's all they deal with in these communities that are like 98% black people. They only deal with black people. So they're not afraid of black people. They're afraid of dying. They're afraid of thugs. They're afraid of criminals. And that can come in any shape, color, and size. I mean, there's not a lot of black people where I work at. But these other people are just as crazy. I mean, it's not like I was to pull a person over, a white officer to pull a person over and say, oh, this person's white. Hey, how you doing, sir? I'm not going to give you a ticket today. You can't kill me. It's not going to happen. You pull a person over, they start getting silly, and you're like, oh, well, it's about to be on. That's it. I mean, and the myth of white officers scared of black people or somehow unfamiliar with black people is just crazy. Now, if there was a situation where white officers didn't have to patrol the black communities, then yeah, maybe. But I mean, they're the ones answering all these calls for service in the black community anyway. And I tell you what, some of these white officers know the black community better than the black people do. You know why? Because while people are asleep, officers are still working. I don't know who Perry Stone is. Let me see. Everyone want to pull cameras and video victims. Are you going to own, Brandon? Are you I guess a gun owner? Yeah, of course I'm a cop. I own a gun. I would have a lot of them if I could afford it, but I can't. Yeah, okay, he did tell the officer he had a gun. So I don't know. But the officer said that he said, don't reach for it. And supposedly he grabbed the gun for some reason. I don't know if that's true or what. I wasn't there, but he did tell the officer that. That's why I feel like that. I don't like what the officer did. I don't like what he did. You know, do I think he's going to go to jail for some type of malicious intent? No, I don't think so. But I don't like the way he handled himself. Yeah, he shouldn't have reached for the gun. I don't care if you're a CC. I don't care if you're a cop. You don't reach for a gun. You mess around and get shot. I think both people went about it the wrong way. I think the officer could have done better, and I think Philando should have done better. I think both of them should have done something different, and Philando will be alive today. And I think you can't cancel one or the other out. If the cop did everything he should have done and Philando didn't, Philando would be dead. You know what I'm saying? If the cop did the right thing, if Philando didn't do the right thing, the cop did the right thing, Philando would be dead. If the cop did the wrong thing, Philando did the right thing, Philando would be dead. So either way it go, if they both did the right thing, then yeah, he will be alive. If any one of them made a mistake, Philando is dead. And so I think that's what we need to evaluate. And in this situation, I think they both did something wrong. I don't think it was one side or the other. Okay, Rachel. Okay, I'll look for it. If we're not friends, I may not be able to see it. So if you friend request me or something, I'll be able to see it. Or the better thing is write a comment on one of my posts, and then I can just click on your thing. Because my messages, I don't get messages from people that are my friends, because I literally get thousands of them on that Facebook, and like I can't, people that like random people, I can't filter through all that. Let's see. Tony Sotomayor. I thought they called him Mayu. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to him. I said the black man, not black people. So I'm assuming Kate, I think that's how you say your name. I'm assuming that you're still asserting that officers may be afraid of black men. With the same story. It's the same story. Officers aren't, I don't perceive that officers are afraid of black men, because all black men aren't criminals. And officers get exposed to all types of black men. Some officers are black men. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that it's like a myth. Officers aren't afraid of black people. Some officers may be afraid of some black people, and some of it is reasonable. It's rightfully so. You got somebody that killed like 10, 15 people in the street. I mean, you're going to be scared of them. But at the same time, overall, I think officers aren't afraid of black men. I mean, unless you are certain that all black men are like these thugged out criminals. You know, I grew up in the hood. I grew up in an all black neighborhood. And black people just as diverse as any other culture. You know, you had the thugs, then you had the educated, and you had the athletes that not thugs, but they're not getting in trouble. They're going to school. I mean, you had regular people, you had older black men, you had professionals. I mean, you had career criminals. I mean, race, people make race a big deal. It's the same thing in every community. White officers patrol every community, Asian community, white, black, Hispanic. Black people are not unique in any way. They're different, but they're not unique when it comes to being fearful in crime. It's not the case. Let's see, Brandon, what about Charlena Lyles? I mean, you gotta inform me. I gotta look that name up. I probably know you're talking about, but I don't know him by name. Give me a scenario so I can figure that out. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. I really do. Oh yeah, false prophets, false teachers there. What do you mean as in thugs? Trying to think what I said and figure out why you asked me this. What do you mean as in thugs? What you mean the word thug? I think the word thug is a person who is actively involved in hood-like mentality and hood-like behaviors, like involved in gangs, involved in cliques, perpetuating crimes like gun violence, jumping people, just the whole rugged, lawless behavior. That's a thug to me. That exists in every race. Every race. There's no black thugs. I mean, there's no thugs that are black people. It's like there's thugs, and then there's black thugs, white thugs, Asian thugs. There's Asian gangs in California. I mean, it's not mutually exclusive to black people. It's not like the word thug has to be attached to a race. There's white people that do the same stuff that black people do. They just do it differently, but it's the same soup warmed over. You know, Asians do the same thing. Mexicans have the same thing. You go on the south side of the town I grew up in. It's Mexican gangs everywhere, and but there's Mexican people who don't commit crimes, obviously. So nobody's making an argument that officers are afraid of Hispanic people or Mexicans. No, it don't work like that. It's just not the case. Yeah, man, crazy isn't defined by color. I mean, when you do this job, you will realize that there's a lot of people. Mental illness is not one race. Mass murderers are not one race. Even terrorists aren't just one race. I mean, it's perpetuated in a continent, which most people in that continent is a certain ethnicity, but it's not limited to a person's race. There are thugs of every race. I see it every day. It's just that it precipitates in different cultures. Like, black people do things different. Like, African American culture is a little different than Hispanic culture, but there's still thugs in this culture and thugs in this culture. White people do things different. White thugs do stuff different than some African American thugs, and sometimes they all blend. But it just depends on what you're involved in. Like, you know, even like drugs. Like, where I grew up at, never heard of meth. It was just crack. Black people smoked crack. The crackheads do the same thing as the meth heads do in the white community. They steal stuff. They commit crimes to feed their habit. Same thing happened in the white community. They commit crimes to do stuff to feed their habit. When you get them in a situation that they too high, they may fight and act crazy. Same thing with the meth heads and the heroin users, same stuff. Appreciate it. Winnie City Gaming, appreciate you. Hey, I need to get off here, man. I've been on for like 40 minutes. I'll catch y'all next time, man. Y'all have a good night.